Okay, in this video, let's talk about how whores are created. Before we get into the topic though, please like, subscribe, or share, and visit the link below to get a free electronic copy of your Sex Education You Never Received. Especially if you're single, if you're a single woman or man, get a copy of this book. It's going to show you how to find a good husband or wife and build a family and a good relationship and a legacy together. So how are whores created? Well, I think often it's a result of young women who have been hurt in their childhood. There's such a thing as adverse childhood events. An adverse childhood event is some sort of trauma that happens to a child that creates a rift in their soul and body. It's a trauma that can often eject the soul from the body, and when that happens, demons get in on that wound. This is how people become possessed by demons. And women, I think in general, are much more susceptible to demons than men are, because women are more feeling based, and demons really can get in. And it's much easier, I think, for women to get deceived than men. We only need to look to the Garden of Eden for that. But again, this isn't a blaming thing. Men are not perfect either. And so it's important for us to work together, both as men and women, to perfect ourselves. And that's what marriage is for. Marriage is, it's a good institution. It's a holy covenant that our Heavenly Father created for both men and women to improve, not for men and women to be codependents and fat ass people. Sorry, I didn't mean to use such harsh language, but you see these people out there and they're just like, misery loves company. And that's not, I'm not teaching people how to become codependents and to become like co-partners or partners in addiction and mismanagement of one's life. No, I want to create dynamic couples that are doing something great, that are building a legacy together and building families that are healthy, strong, and happy. So that's what we're doing here. So I think whores are created by childhood trauma, and unfortunately we have a culture where we've got a lot of misguided men too that have been misguided by porn culture, again, which is run by the Jehus. Do you know who they are? The people that own the pornography companies. And do the research and find out that rabbis own the porn companies. What does that say about the religion that those people profess to practice? Who are they worshiping? They're worshiping the number of the beast, 666. They are Satanists. Read John 8:44. Okay, so this is how whores are created. Like young women, just coming of age. Sadly, they don't have a dad around. They don't have a father figure there. So they're already hungry for a father figure. And often, it's created by the divorce court. It's created by the satanic media, like the television, all of the garbage that's pumped through those devices. So, and it's all designed to create divorce, because these young girls that are coming up in divorced families that don't have their dads there to look after them, man, you could argue maybe even with their dads there, they're still susceptible. But so you have these young women who they're fresh, newly into their womanhood. Everything is in place as it should be, and these women are, unfortunately, they're targets for perverse men who haven't been able to get any control over their sex force, and they abuse these young women. Or you got the other situation where you've got these young men who are pumped up on their testosterone and they don't know a thing about controlling themselves sexually. They haven't been given any sort of brahmacharya skills or any sort of sexual management skills from anybody, because their mothers and fathers probably don't know anything about it and they haven't talked with them about it. So you get these young men who are thinking, oh man, I just want to sleep with her, and they can't think of anything else. And I think what happens is, like, it opens a Pandora's box. You have these young people having sex with these young women, and they are not they're not the right ones, or there's a breakup, and it creates a real pain for these young women. And I think it's really hard for them. And I believe that something happens in a woman's mind. I think they maybe become addicted to sex, and they think sex, well, number one, it's power. A young woman can really step into her power when she turns 13 or 14, because again, there's all of these men out there that are easily manipulated by their sexual desires. So these young women, they start down this path. They start wearing the shoes, as some people might say, and they start to get addicted to the power that their sexual attraction gives them. So this is how whores are created. And then they get into this, they get into the morass, they get into the swamp, the swamp of, hi, I'm a PUA, hi, I'm a whore. Well, it's like peanut butter and chocolate mixed together. Ooh, it's perfect. So you have like this population of whoremongers, and you have this population of whores, and again, they're all cycling through each other, and it seems like it's all great. But at some point, I think at some point, if somebody's really paying attention, the weight of that sin falls down on them, and they say, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. And I think for a lot of these young women, it happens, in their late 20s, when they are, they're realizing, hey, I don't have a lot of productive years left. What do I have to show for my life? And here, I think, is where I differ from a lot of people. A lot of people say, oh, yeah, go to church now that you've whored around for, 10 years. And, you racked up a body count of 40. I think people can become born again sexually. They can clear their body of the sexual sin. I think our Heavenly Father will allow that, but something needs to happen. Like the sexual addiction needs to stop, and people need to go through a period of celibacy to clear their aura and their consciousness of all of these sexual not deprivations, these sexual crimes, for lack of a better term. So there's hope for this, but I think that the real key is that more people need to be focused on helping young people and protecting young people and giving them the knowledge that I give them here about how to find a soulmate and how to choose one. And stop thinking that, you can just have casual sex with whomever you like. No, you can't. Sex wasn't designed to be casual. It was designed to mean something. I talk about that in my other videos. Check out my other videos for that. All right, so I'm going to end this video here. This is getting a little long-winded, but again, please visit my website, beyond-dating.com. Beyond Dating. Get a free copy, electronic copy of The Sex Education You Never Received. And as always, the light in me honors light in you. Peace.